It's a lovely afternoon here in the Central Valley of California. I'm in Davis, a university town about 20 miles from Sacramento. Basically, we're between Sacramento and San Francisco on I-80. San Francisco is about an hour and 15-minute drive from here. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to talk about Bloodstained Men's great year ahead and how you can help us. You can also donate to Bloodstained Men. Our tours have gotten very expensive just because we now have 10 and 12 people on tour with us. And no one is paid, but we do have to provide transportation, food, lodging, etc. And that's why Bloodstained Men has been so successful because of your help. I'm going to rotate the camera here. Let's see. There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Davis, California. It's just a wonderful, wonderful afternoon here. Not a cloud in the sky. I'm in shirt sleeves. It feels like it's in the 70s. It's just a really, really beautiful day. The kind of day I actually enjoy protesting. I'm going to tell you all about our plans during this live video. Bloodstained Men, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We were back in Pennsylvania late last year for 2 weeks, but we have an ambitious schedule now for 2022, which begins in less than 3 weeks now. I fly to Las Vegas on February 24th, which is a Thursday, meet all the road crew, and I think we're starting out with 12 or 13 road crew. It's just going to be remarkable, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to your kind donations, we put up a huge billboard on Las Vegas Boulevard, and that's going to be up for several months. We're going to begin I'm crossing the street here, so I have to be careful here. We're going to begin the Southwest tour, and I'm going to go over the cities with you in just a minute. But we're going to begin the Southwest tour with a press conference at the Billboard, and of course, we're going to invite all the Las Vegas media to join us. Our planner and CEO, our president, David Atkinson, will deliver a speech at the Billboard and take questions from the media. I will record that and probably go live as well. I'm going to rotate the camera during this broadcast so that you can get an idea why I enjoy this hike so much. So I'm here on the outskirts of the University of California at Davis, huge university. I think it's got close to about 40,000 students now. And it's just a great environment for me to do my work when I'm off duty, off the front lines. Cassie Webster is watching. Hello, Cassie. I tried to tag a lot of people in here. I would have liked to have tagged hundreds, but with the glare and so I just tagged a whole bunch of people, and I hope you do catch this. So it's Sunday, February 6th. I fly to Las Vegas with the rest of the road crew from all over the United States. The road crew is flying into Las Vegas. We actually have two moms driving from Austin, Texas. They're not going to fly into Las Vegas. They're going to drive in. Karen Cokes and Courtney Shin. They're going to drive from Austin, Texas to Las Vegas, and they will be doing the first 10 days of the tour with us, which is why we're just going to have such a large crew, the largest crew we've ever had, ladies and gentlemen. Bloodstained Men is just, we are just going full bore for our nation's sons. It's so cruel and unfair what doctors are doing, what American doctors are doing, how they are deceiving parents. I'm trying to, yes, yes, we're going to Arizona, Cassie. Absolutely. In fact, that's a good time for me to bring out the schedule. If you want to see the schedule for yourself, I have a printout right from our website. You can go to bloodstainedmen.com, and on the drop down menu on the right, you will see events. Go to that, and you will see the entire schedule, which is what I printed out this morning. So it looks like that comes out. I'm not sure if that'll come out backwards when you see it or not. But so we're starting off with the Billboard protest on February 25th, and that's going to be at 10 o'clock. You have to go on our website to see the whole thing that I'm reading from, which is the Southwest tour. It's going to be 20 cities, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be doing that 4 times this year. We're going to have 4 20-day tours this year. Just a remarkable year of planning for Bloodstained. And this is really a beautiful site. I'm going to reverse the camera so that you can see why I enjoy this hike so much. University of California, Davis was originally an agricultural school, so I'm out here on the edge of campus. There's the med school over there. If you see those buildings on the horizon, that's the med school, University of California, Davis Medical School, which doctors from all over the nation have graduated from. Very, very prestigious medical school. But so the Southwest Circumcision Crisis protests will be 20 cities. And we begin on February 25th at the Billboard. If you haven't seen the pictures of our billboard yet, you are missing something, because it is just huge. It is huge. It's as big as a city bus, ladies and gentlemen. Let me, Carolyn Greenfield, hello. So the Billboard in Las Vegas is at South Las Vegas Boulevard and Hidden Well Road. We will be doing a press conference there at 10 a.m. on Friday, February 25th, kicking off the 20-city Southwest Circumcision Crisis protest tour. We then are going to move to the Strip. We're going to spend about an hour at the Billboard. Then we're going to move downtown by the Hard Rock Cafe, the Las Vegas Strip, where we're going to protest. And it's going to be amazing. I hope you can join us, ladies and gentlemen. If you've ever wanted to go to Las Vegas and have put it off, fly into Las Vegas that weekend and join us on the front lines on Friday, February 25th on the Las Vegas Strip by the Hard Rock Cafe. Come on out and join us. Or if you like Las Vegas and haven't been for a while, come on out. I know many people have reunions and go to other events in Las Vegas. Come on out and join us. Day 2, so when we're done in Las Vegas, we're going to drive on to Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and that will be day 2 of the Southwest Circumcision Crisis protest. That is Saturday, February 26th. And it's a popular biking area for people. Davis is a big biking town. I've seen estimates that they estimate that there are 25,000 bicyclists in this town at one time or another. I'm trying to turn this page here. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to read here. This is from our website. You can go to it and see exactly what I'm reading. And it's it's a great website that our webmaster, David Atkinson, has designed. You can actually click on it and see the Facebook page for each event. So our website links to all the Facebook event pages as well. Day three got truncated on my printout. I didn't notice that. So actually, I don't have this schedule memorized, so I don't know what day 3 will be. I just see that it's at West 16th and 14th Ave. So perhaps someone can go uh, to the website and post in the comments what city day 3 is, because I should say it here, but I can't. So, but I can tell you that day 4 will be Monday, February 28th, Tempe, Arizona. March 1st will be Tucson. March 2nd, Las Cruces, New Mexico. And this is something we've been wanting to do for years, ladies and gentlemen, is far west Texas. It's so far, we've done a lot in the Dallas, in the Houston, in the Austin area, but we've never been to far west Texas. And Bloodstained Men's going to be doing that this time. Hello, James Kennedy. Thank you. Um, so on Thursday, March 3rd, we're going to be in El Paso, Texas. That's day 7 of the tour. Day 8, Odessa, Texas. Day 9, Midland, Texas. Day 10, San Angelo, Texas. Day 11 will be in Abilene. And on day 11, Karen Cokes and Courtney Shin, who, as I mentioned earlier in this broadcast, they will head home. They are driving. They're going to be driving along with Bloodstained Men Road Crew. And by the way, you're welcome to do that too. If you have a sense of adventure and you want to tour with Bloodstained Men, but you don't want to do a whole tour, or you live near one of our cities and you want to drive along for a few days, message me and we can figure that out. But Karen Cokes and Courtney Shin are going out of their way to join us, driving all the way from Austin, Texas. But so day 11 will be in Abilene. That's when Tori Caswell from Oklahoma will be joining us on the front lines. Tori is a nursing and midwife student in Stillwater, Oklahoma. She's taking time off from her studies. This is that important to her. She's going to be joining us then for the duration of the tour. Abilene, which will be on March 7th. Wichita Falls, Texas, March 8th. Lubbock, Texas on March 9. March 10, Amarillo, Texas. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, these are cities where we just have never been near them because they are so far from the metropolitan areas in East Texas that we have traditionally protested in. Dallas, Houston, Austin. We've saturated East Texas quite a bit. Let me turn the camera here. Hello, Carol Morrison. So a lot of times you see this field right here. A lot of times there'll be animals grazing out here. You can see with the rainy California winter, particularly early in the winter, we had some good rains, and so everything's really beautiful green right now, which I love. By late summer, it will have all turned brown, which I don't like so much. But when California grasslands are green, it is just beautiful. And then day 14, March 10th, will be in Amarillo. So you can see Texas is well represented, ladies and gentlemen. That's, turn the camera again. I think I counted it once, but I'll count it again now. How many days in Texas? It's a 20-day tour, and we're going to be in Texas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the cities are in Texas. So that's eight out of the 20 city stops will be in West Texas. But those are huge, huge cities out there in the far west of the giant, giant state of Texas. On day 16, March 12th, we go to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Day 17, that's a Sunday, March 13th. So I guess that's, it's probably about, it sounds like that's either 4 or 5 Sundays from today. I think 5 Sundays. That'll be Gallup, New Mexico. Day 18, March 14, we'll be in Flagstaff, Arizona. Day 19, Kingman, Arizona. That's March 15th, Tuesday, March 15th. And day 20, we will be back in Las Vegas. And our billboard will still be up there, ladies and gentlemen. We paid for the billboard for 10 weeks. 10 weeks. So that the billboard is up right now. We've posted some photos of it on social media. We haven't had any live broadcasts from the billboard yet, but I know that during this tour, upcoming tour, we will. Oh, and I wanted to give you the first news of our second tour of the year, which we just decided 2 days ago. So this is a breaking news for Bloodstained Men. We are coming back to Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. Bloodstained Men is going to do a 20-day tour out of Chicago. I know that our planner and CEO, David Atkinson, is going to try to include as many of the surrounding states and big cities there in the center of the Midwest. I don't know the exact schedule for that yet, but I do know this because we rented out our vehicle for this tour. So it's set in stone. We will be in Chicago on May 9th, which is a Monday. And I don't know the location. I know in previous times we've been in Chicago, we protest on State Street. I don't know if that's what we'll do this time or not. But that will be Monday, May 9th, the first day, day 1 of 20 on the Midwest Circumcision Crisis protest. And you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Bloodstained Men's second tour of the year will be the Midwest tour, starting in Chicago on May 9th, Monday, May 9th. And it will finish in the Chicago area. I don't know if it'll be the city itself or just in one of the suburban towns there, but it will be the Chicago area. The final of 20 days on the Midwest tour will be Saturday, May 28, 2022 in the Chicago area. So put those on your calendar, mark those days on your calendar. I know many of our Midwest friends are excited for Bloodstained Men to return. We haven't been to the Midwest for a while. I have a hunch we're gonna see Michigan and hopefully Ohio and Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota. I can't make any promises because it depends on what our planner sees feasible out of Chicago. But I believe those are all cities all states that we've done out of previous Chicago tours. Let me turn the camera again. You know, being an activist is hard work. None of us are paid. And you know the names you get called. You get called even in your personal life, online. The American Academy of Pediatrics, by giving its stamp of approval to the ancient penis sacrifice, male genital mutilation, also known, or commonly known, I should say, as infant circumcision, By giving it the stamp of medicine, the American Academy of Pediatrics has doomed millions of American boys to circumcision. Doomed them. It's a curse. It's a curse to begin your life with part of your sex organ cut off. A sacrifice, by its very nature, implies that you are losing something of value, extreme value, not a trivial thing. And so the ancient penis sacrifice, male genital mutilation, also known as circumcision, is a profound loss for a man. Profound. There's no way to put a good spin on it, which is why men and women don't want to learn the facts. How often we run into resistance? People just do not even want to contemplate. They don't want to even contemplate what is happening when you strap a baby down and amputate part of his sex organ. They want to think, well, it can't be that bad because doctors are doing it. But in fact, doctors are responsible for it. No one in antiquity ever claimed that circumcision had health benefits. No one. It would not have even occurred to them. And in fact, when American doctors started it in the United States, they did not claim any health benefits. They came right out and told parents, look, this will stop your boy from masturbating. Or if you catch him masturbating, this will punish him. John Harvey Kellogg and his ilk all published books and articles in medical journals saying that that was the advantage, that was the benefit. That was why you did it to boys, to reduce, to diminish their sexuality. In the 20th century, that became an embarrassing excuse. Let me rotate the camera again. Hello, Tom Maples. Tom Maples in Mobile, Alabama. Hope you're well, Tom. Tom and his daughter, we met them at the convention in, hello, Heather, at the AAP convention in 2019. Been a few years, Tom. But so American doctors, it was only in the 20th century when it became embarrassing to justify this barbaric, irrational, cruel, destructive amputation of part of a newborn child's sex organ. That's when American doctors, they got together and they thought, look, we can't sell this thing to parents. What are we going to do? And slowly they evolved a strategy of saying, hey, wait, look, maybe we can say that it's medicine, that there's some health benefit to it. So they did. They decreed it. They just decreed it. We are going to now claim that circumcision is healthy for boys. It's for your own good. It's not a sacrifice. It's a blessing. And in 100 years, they converted a sacrifice, an ancient sacrifice. No one ever doubted it. Everyone knew it. That was why you did it. We don't offer a cup of fingernail shavings as a sacrifice. No, you offer part of the male penis as a sacrifice. But they converted this sacrifice into a blessing. Boom. What rhetorical magic they performed. Hard to believe that parents could be so naive. Hard to believe. But there you have it. And I know each of you has your own story. Some of you knew from early childhood that circumcision was wrong. Others of you learned it when you became mothers and looked into the issue. Others of you are regret parents and found out the hard way. And one of the founders of Intactivism, in fact, was a regret parent, the late Rosemary Romberg. She had 4 sons circumcised before the light bulb went off in her brain, and she started researching it, and she kept her 5th son intact and went on to dedicate her life to Intactivism. It's just not right, ladies and gentlemen. It is not right. And that is why I'm an Intactivist. That is why you're an Intactivist. And that's why all of us who know what circumcision is, who know how destructive and cruel it is. That's why it's a moral imperative to be an intactivist. We cannot tolerate this state of affairs in society. We cannot tolerate it. These little boys, they have human rights. They have fundamental human rights. Let me turn the camera here so you can see the bees here. Susie Miller says demonic. Yes, it is, Susie. And they actually do a lot of bee research here at this university too. There's a whole building department dedicated to the study of bees. Looks like they have some benches and a picnic table there. They probably host some lectures out here. In fact, it looks like one of the researchers is taking notes actually. And you may be able to see in the far distance, Samantha Len is watching. Hello, Samantha. You may be able to see in the far distance on the horizon. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but that's I-80. That's I-80. If you go left, that'll take you to Sacramento, through Sacramento to New York City. Go right, and that's San Francisco and the end of the road. So the great I-80, which Bloodstained Men has seen quite often in the last 10 years of our nationwide tours. Please do donate on this live broadcast to the fundraiser here. Any donations that I raise for Bloodstained Men on this fundraiser, I will apply to our ongoing fundraiser, our winter 2022 fundraiser, and I will apply it to that fundraiser and reduce the goal for that fundraiser. Courtney Shin is watching. Hello, Courtney Shin. See you in a couple of weeks in Las Vegas. You and Karen Cokes. Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, the least favorite part of my work is asking you for donations because I know how hard you work for your money. And I really wish that we could do it without your kind donations. But we've come this far because of your donations. That's how Bloodstained Men has succeeded. I tell people we are $1 million operation on a shoestring. And that's true. And I'll tell you why, ladies and gentlemen, because like you see Courtney Shin here watching, she's a volunteer, just like me. None of us get paid. You cannot, there is not enough money in the world to pay people to work on this issue. So intactivism is a volunteer movement, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that because so much of the world is capitalistic, and necessarily so. We have to earn a living. We have to put a roof over our head and bread on our table, clothes on our back, and a place for our pillow at night. So it really is inspiring to see people who understand that this issue is so serious, such a threat to American freedom, that they will volunteer their time, including me. We volunteer our time to protest across the United States. And for Bloodstained Men, for me personally, and for the core of our road crew, I'm going to be home, away from home for 88 days this year. That will be because each 20-day tour requires 2 days of travel. The opening day of travel, then 20 days of protest, and then the final day to fly home. So each 20-day tour requires a 22-day commitment. I have committed to that, and the core of our long-term road crew has committed to that. We are going to be in 80 cities this year, ladies and gentlemen, all volunteers. No one gets paid, but we do have 80 cities this year. 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 We do have 80 the expenses of our rental vehicle, our hotel rooms, putting food on the table for the road crew, many of whom have given up their vacation time or temporarily taken time off from their livelihood to do this purely on a volunteer basis. So your donations go to put boots on the ground. They don't go to pay my rent or anyone else's rent, ladies and gentlemen. We are all volunteers. No one gets paid at Bloodstained Men. So um, please do donate. And I know $5 is it can be a sacrifice for you, but please do. That $5 can make a difference. That $5 with everyone else's $5 can really make a big difference, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we have succeeded in putting. Let's see, Monica, hello. I'm having a squint because uh, it's bright and even the smartphone screen is still fairly small. Monica Barber is watching. Thank you, Monica. But so yes, please do. So whatever donations this live broadcast brings in, let me turn the camera here because I just really, really love this. And particularly if you're in the Northeast now, if you're still digging out from the snow, and I've been there. I happen to love the snow, by the way, so I actually envy your snowy days. But by the same token, it really is nice to be out in shirt sleeves on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in California's green Central Valley. Here's some, I believe those are grapevines. People out walking their dog. It's just a really idyllic part of the city of Davis, California, that I enjoy. This is the University of California. It was established as a farm university to teach farming, but that's long past. It's now a leader in technology and medicine and a lot of heavy science done here at the University of California in Davis. Let's see if I can. I've donated until it hurts. It educates. If it educates and saves boys and men, it's worth it. And the screen won't. I see the comment, but I can't tell. Let's see what happens if I try to scroll it. No, it won't scroll. Oh, there it is. Bryce Daniel. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you for that. And we're looking forward to seeing you in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks. Pam Guthrie is watching. Hi, Pam. But you can see how green everything is, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm actually starting to sweat a little bit, just a little bit of sweat on the back of my neck. It's that nice a day, but you can see it. The perfectly blue sky, not a cloud in the sky. There's no wind. Just ideal. Hello, Tanya Marie. And I know we will be seeing you in Michigan, certainly, Tanya. I don't know what our final schedule will be, but I know you live there in the Grand Rapids area. I'm fairly certain we'll be passing near or in the vicinity of Grand Rapids. So in case you're just tuning in, I have just announced, first time that we've posted this news on social media, Bloodstained Men has locked in the dates for our upcoming Midwest tour. Let me get out my paper here. And we are planning two other tours after the first two tours. We've got the Southwest tour coming up in a few weeks. And we've got the Midwest tour. Let me give you that date. Yeah, the Midwest tour, day one will be Monday, May 9th in Chicago. And That will be a 20-day tour, and day 20 will be Saturday, May 28th, in either in Chicago or in the Chicago area. I don't know for sure. Our planner will have to make those determinations. But so that's going to be 20 days. You can get the latest on our as we're working on the schedule on an ongoing basis, ladies and gentlemen, because not only do we have the Southwest tour coming up in a few weeks, and then the Midwest tour coming up in May, but we are also now looking to our New England tour, which is going to be the possibly the last week of July, but definitely the first several weeks of August, and that's going to be the New England tour, which will include Boston and New York City. And if you've seen us in the past, um, our planner David Atkinson gets a lot of states and cities into the route, so it's very, very likely that in late July and August, we will see cities in Rhode Island, perhaps in Maine, uh, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York State. But, Bloodstained Men, we are here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. We need your support to keep this up. And I know that $5, you think, well, what can $5 make? But $5 makes a difference, ladies and gentlemen, because, and I do the same. I donate $5 as often as I can afford it. And it not only does it build the war chest for Bloodstained Men, but when you donate, it somehow it gets onto Facebook's algorithm, and other people see the donation on their news feeds, and they are inspired to donate. So when you donate to the fundraiser, it's not just the $5 itself, but it posts in on your Facebook page and gets out on the news feeds and spreads the word, and other people donate. I cannot emphasize enough how we are all volunteers. No, hello, Tori Caswell. And as I told our audience earlier, Tori, that we're very, very happy that you're going to be joining us for day 11 in Abilene. Tori Caswell, ladies and gentlemen, many of you know her. She's a veteran of Bloodstained Men Tours, and she'll be joining us. Hello, Nicole. And Tori is a veteran of the Bloodstained Men Tours and will be taking time off from her studies to do the last 10 days of the Southwest tour with us from Abilene, Texas to Las Vegas. So I'll see you in a few weeks too, Tori. But ladies and gentlemen, we are volunteers and you are volunteers. And this is the problem, is that being an intactivist is stressful. It is stressful. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it and posted it, and you have seen it, I have no doubt, if you've been an intactivist for a month or more, how upsetting and disturbing it is when you share this information with a relative, your sister, your brother perhaps, or an in-law, or a friend or a neighbor down the street or a coworker, and they tell you thanks but no thanks. We are circumcising our son. It makes you want to tear your hair out. And there is a burnout rate among intactivists, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like to admit it, but there is. There is a burnout rate, and please don't let yourself become a burnout. Take time off from this issue if you have to. That's just the nature of the beast. It is there's nothing more severe than the disappointment of another baby falls to the genital mutilation acts. It's devastating. It leaves, let's see, uh, hard to stop this madness. I try to donate right. I'm sorry, I can't see who. It's letting me see the bottom of the comment, but I can't see who made the comment. But I'll see these all when I get home on my desktop computer. This is a smartphone where I just cannot. You can't scroll through it. the way you can on a desktop computer. I prefer to work on a desktop computer. I know some of you are experts on these smartphones, but I cannot master it. I like the large screen and my mouse, and that's how I do most of my work on social media and during the day. Now, when I'm on the road, it's different, or when I'm out for a hike like this. It's wonderful, wonderful to be here on a live broadcast with you and sharing this beautiful afternoon with you. This is how, by the way, let me shift the view again. By the way, this is how I stay in shape. I take a hike every day, ladies and gentlemen. I hike at least several miles every day, and that's how I stay in shape. That actually is the secret to my good health, is hiking every day. Obviously, if there's really poor weather, I can't, but even in rainy weather, unless it's hurricane force winds, I try to get out and take a hike. Uh, and when we're on tour, you've seen it. We don't let the rain stop us. So I don't expect we will run into rain on the Southwest tour, but knock on wood, it can happen. Um, but so this is a Puda Creek, and it's got a picnic area here. And the creek is down there, but beyond that grassy slope. Well, you can see the slope on the far side. But the creek is dammed up to provide a reservoir for part of the Central Valley. So it's really a sluggish creek most of the year, except in the really rainy times when they let the creek flow more freely. So it's really not worth me walking down there to show it to you, because it's it's called a creek, and I don't want to insult it by calling it a ditch, because it really isn't. It's a vibrant creek, it's wildlife, etc. But that's just the fact of life in water-starved California. We have to dam up the lakes and creeks for water. We are a little concerned here. The winter start off great. California relies on the winter rains to sustain us, and we got off to a great start with a huge rainy period in December. But January went by without any rain, and now here we are a week into February, no rain. So everyone's getting worried again, because the rains form the snowpack in the Sierra, in the mountains, that then melts in the spring and fills up the reservoirs. So all the reservoirs are low. Um, I don't know the latest figures, but just in general, all the reservoirs are about 50% of where they should be, or if they were full. Let me turn the camera again here. So intactivism is stressful. It's stressful. And I feel so bad when people who feel it so deeply just can't take it anymore. And some of them actually deactivate their Facebook, or let's see. Thank you, Tori. Thank you, Tori. Looking forward to seeing you in Abilene. Um, I don't know the answer, except that we need you. We need you. Intactivism needs you. Our sons need you. And if you're just an intactivist one day out of the month, if that's all you can handle, so be it. Don't feel guilty for not doing as much as you your conscience tells you should be doing. Because, I mean, we all have weird consciences. All of us grew up getting browbeat in one way or another, so that you can beat yourself up with your conscience. But don't. If you're an intactivist, you know the facts, you know the truth, and intactivism needs you. Our sons and daughters need you, because male genital mutilation is not just a crime against our sons; it's also a crime against our daughters. They are the women who will be having to deal with these dysfunctional men that circumcision creates. That's just a fact of life. Circumcision creates dysfunctional men. Yeah, they bluster and flex their chest and say, well, I'm circumcised and turned out fine. I say, if you turned out fine, how come you think it's okay to strap a baby down and cut off part of their sex organ? That is not turning out fine. That is turning out without a conscience. It's a debate none of them will have. They run off. They run off. It's a debate the American Academy of Pediatrics will not have. They run off. Doctors run off. We've had doctors flip us the finger on the front lines. They are guilty and they know it. They have medicalized the ancient penis sacrifice and claimed that it's no longer. Oh, what a miracle. The ancient penis sacrifice is now a modern blessing. It's now a modern penis blessing. How depraved can you get? I mean, they are taking our nation, they are taking us for fools. They have taken the American people for fools. Tori says, yes, take breaks, mental health. Yes, mental health, mental health. Yes, Tori. And Tori, remind me when we're in Abilene and that 10 days you're going to be on the front lines. I want to talk to you about mental health for intactivists. I want to talk to you about that. Um, just very, very tragic suicide in, I believe it was in New York City, a very, very promising um, young woman, 30 years old, committed suicide. Just heartbreaking, just heartbreaking. And sadly, we have lost a number of um, powerful intactivist men to suicide, some of whom I cannot give you their name because they did not want it officially known that they committed suicide. But very, very surprised. One name in particular, very surprising that he committed suicide. Just tragic, tragic. But you all know that Jonathan Conte committed suicide. I think he just burnt himself out. He cared so much, and rightly so. So that's why I'm issuing you this warning. If you're an intactivist, you care, and if you care, you feel the pain. You feel how much it hurts. It hurts what they are doing to our sons. I see people in the comments all the time. I post these heartbreaking stories, and you comment and you say, I can't take this anymore. I'm crying. Well, how are we going to stop this? Why isn't this illegal? There are no rational answers to any of it, ladies and gentlemen. All I know is our doctors, the American medical profession has let us down. They have betrayed us, and we, the people, have to get this job done now for our sons. We don't want them and our grandsons to come to us in 30, 40 years and say, how come you didn't do anything, Mom? Dad? How come you pretended it was all just normal? It's not normal. It's not normal to strap a boy down and cut off part of his sex organ. It's not normal. It never will be, no matter how much these corrupt, greedy, malevolent individuals hiding behind stethoscopes offer their deceitful assurances to parents. Well, this will lower his risk of penile cancer. And, well, this will give him additional protection against HIV. And, oh, this urinary tract infections will be much less They 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 take all these preposterous statistics that do not stand the test of credulity or science. Just fabricated statistics to invent what they pass off as a rational excuse for newborn male genital mutilation. And there is none. There is none. So Bloodstained Men, we are going to be protesting in 80 cities this year, starting in just a few weeks in Las Vegas with the Southwest Tour, 20 days. Hello, Brandy. Brandy's watching. Thank you. And then 20 days in Chicago, May 9 in Chicago, and we'll be posting that schedule up as soon as we have it all figured out. But it's locked in. The days are locked in. Chicago on Monday, May 9. Let me check my paper here to make sure I'm. Honestly, we've been doing so much work on these schedules that's very easy with all these dates in my mind. It's very easy to get one wrong. But yeah, Monday, May 9 in Chicago. And that'll be day one of the Midwest tour. We're going to be going to as many cities and states in the Midwest as we can, with Chicago being the center point or a point on the map. Usually we go either, we kind of do a loop from the city of origin. We do a loop around a whole bunch of states and cities and end up back at the city of origin. So I can imagine, if you look at the map, you'll see it, the obvious states there surrounding Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, would be Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Iowa, Minnesota. Hope I didn't leave anything out. But hello, Cheryl Rawlings. Thank you for watching. So again, no promises on which cities and states the Midwest tour will include. But if you've been following Bloodstained Men for a long time, you know that generally we have 1 to 200 miles between cities. And so in 20 days, we can cover and do cover anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 miles. So you can look at Chicago and kind of mentally imagine the route and the map of cities and states that we will have access to on that tour. But so that's Monday, May. Put that on your calendar. Bloodstained Men, absolutely, we are locked in. I reserved the van several days ago. We are going to be in Chicago on Monday, May 9th, 2022, and that will be day one of the Midwest Circumcision Crisis protest. If you can join us in Las Vegas on February 25th, that would be awesome. Let me give you that again. Let me switch the camera here. So we're at the University Airport, as you can see. Yeah, so the billboard, Bloodstained Men's billboard, and again, I have to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, which I have done on a number of occasions, but there's no way to adequately express my personal gratitude and the gratitude of Bloodstained Men and all the men and women who work with us, and also all of you other intactivists who are donate what you can, and to see all the others who have donated to our billboards. But you donated $7,500 to our Las Vegas billboard, and we have put it up for 10 weeks in Las Vegas. If you haven't seen it or you live in the Las Vegas area, it is at the intersection of South Las Vegas Boulevard and Hidden Well Road. Bloodstained Men's Billboard, and that will be up. It's up right now. It's been up for a few weeks. It's going to be up through the entire tour, and I believe it comes down about the week after the tour is over. So it's going to be there. The tour ends on Wednesday, March 16th. So I think it's going to be up until Wednesday the next week, which would be, I believe, the 23rd. So it's going to be up until the 22nd or the 23rd. Bloodstained Men's Billboard. Hello, Julie Diane, and you've been doing good work there, Julie Diane, on TikTok. Thank you for that. You can put your TikTok address in the comments, Julie Diane, and get more of the Intactivist community into TikTok. I have to tell you, I wish I could master TikTok, but I don't want to just have I've signed up. I can like and share stuff, but it takes all my time and energy to really do my social media work on Facebook, and I do some on Twitter. But there's only so much time in the day. There's only so much I can accomplish personally, and having to plan these tours, it just, there's never enough time in the day for me to get done what I want to get done. Never. Julie Diane on TikTok. There's in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Julie Diane. And keep up that wonderful, wonderful work, Julie. And don't burn out as an intactivist. I don't know if you, thank you. Thank you. I can't see who said that, but said that's okay. You're doing. Oh, thank you, Julie Diane. But I cannot emphasize enough to Julie Diane and all of you. And I've already made a mental note because Tori Caswell summed it up. Mental health. Being an intactivist. Let me turn the camera again here. Being an intactivist is a challenge to your mental health. I see this all the time because there is so much disappointment and heartbreak. The only answer I know is that you have to pace yourself. You cannot let intactivism obsess your life any more than you can handle, because there's a point at which you go from work to overwork to obsession. I keep myself right between work and overwork. I can still appreciate a good documentary on YouTube or on Netflix. I'll watch a movie. So I take time off too, ladies and gentlemen. Just there's only so much you or anyone can do, but the accumulation of our work is the power of it. That's the power of intactivism, is that none of us are alone. I would for sure donate if Facebook took donations from my country. I can't see who said that. You can go on, I believe you can donate from overseas on our PayPal link. So I'm sorry, I can't see who said that, but I'll see it when I get home on my desktop screen. But you can go to bloodstainedmen.com, and on the right drop-down menu, there's a donate. We do get donations from other countries through PayPal. So when you send in a donation, state that it is for the 2022 winter fundraiser, and I will apply it to our ongoing winter 2022 fundraiser, which I've actually linked in this live video. And I will apply it to that and reduce the goal for our winter fundraiser. And as I mentioned earlier, any donations on this live broadcast will be treated the same. I will apply all the donations on this live broadcast, I will apply them to Bloodstained Men's winter fundraiser and reduce the goal. Reduce the goal for our winter fundraiser. I'm going to reverse the camera again. I mentioned to you that I mentioned to you earlier when I passed the beehives, and I didn't want to use the scientific name because some of those uh, scientific disciplines that end in the word OLGY, ologies, the ologies, I don't want to inadvertently. Oh well, look, I can show you this. And if you saw earlier in the broadcast, we passed the beehives, and probably someone from this facility, we saw a woman there taking notes. I don't know if these are coming out backwards on the video or not. But you can see why I enjoy hiking through here, ladies and gentlemen. It's just really, it's very, very peaceful and beautiful and idyllic, particularly this time of the year. The weather's ideal. Hello, Megan. Thank you for watching. I'm going to show you this used to be sponsored by Haagen-Dazs. I don't know if it still is. I haven't actually. It used to be a very prominent sign. I don't. Let's see if, yeah, it is still. So, yeah, that looks like it is. It's not being reversed, so you can read that. And there's the giant sculpture of a honeybee. So I don't want to see you burn out. I really don't. But I also don't want to see you lose the fire and passion. Every intactivist feels it at one point or another. Like, oh my God, what can I do to stop this? This is obscene. What can I do? All of us have been there, and When Jonathan Conte brought out those 7 bloodstained suits in New Orleans, I couldn't believe it. I saw it so clearly. This is it. This bloodstained symbol, people putting on these bloodstains and wearing them in public. What a powerful, powerful symbol of protest and resistance to the ancient penis sacrifice. American doctors, they had us. They thought they had sold us circumcision in perpetuity. They had thought that the United States would be a permanent genital cutting culture. Art Dar is watching. Art, thank you for all your support of Bloodstained Men. Thank you for your intactivism. They thought they had us, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't count on intactivism. Intactivism is not something that happened yesterday or 10 years ago. It's something that is happening right now. It is a dynamic social movement. You are part of it. We are part of a historical movement to protect children from genital mutilation. All of us are working hard to protect these children. The problem is, when we don't succeed, it can lead to despair. When your sister circumcises her son, it crushes your soul. It really does. There's no positive spin on it. And these men out there, we have had men threaten to divorce the mother, because your maternal instinct, there is no maternal instinct that tells you to cut off part of your child's sex organ. None. That is not a maternal instinct. The maternal instinct is to take that baby in your arms and protect him from everyone and everything. So the maternal instinct is to protect your son. So by a variety of cultural forces and brainwashing from childhood, American physicians, pediatricians, and OBGYNs have somehow short-circuited the maternal instincts. Your own maternal instincts, they have short-circuited it so that mothers think, well, circumcision, well, I guess it's just what you do. Well, it can't be that bad, or doctors wouldn't offer it. Yes, it is. It's actually worse. It's not only can't be that bad, it's even worse than parents could even imagine. It is so terrible. That's why the denial is so strong. The genital mutilation of a boy is just as gruesome and barbaric as the genital mutilation of a girl, period. There is no distinction. They both have the same purpose. They both injure the child in the same way, and they both have the same disastrous effect upon the child's development into a full and complete human being. FGM equals MGM. Any other equation is politics. FGM equals MGM. Any other equation is false, based on politics, not the facts. Not the facts. Infant circumcision is meant to injure the child. It is meant to injure his adult sexuality, period. End of story. That's why the American Academy of Pediatrics and its cohorts do such rhetorical gymnastics to claim, oh, no, we're not hurting the boy. We're offering him a blessing. He'll be glad we did. And the sad thing is, there are men who play into that narrative. They accept the brainwashing that, yes, you would have had all kinds of problems, et cetera, et cetera. And we see that post summed up as, I'm glad my parents circumcised me. It's really pathetic. It is really abject and pathetic for a man to utter such defeatist words. I should mention forced retraction also. At birth, let me reverse the camera again. This is beautiful. At birth, the sex organ of a child, the sex organs of children are immature. Hello, Amanda. Amanda from, I'm not sure where you're living now, Amanda, but you were there with me that infamous day when the Tuscaloosa police uh, put me in handcuffs and carted me off to jail. That is not a happy memory for me, by the way. That was really, really depressing sitting there in this cold, just a large holding cell there. It was a large room, probably 16 by 16. They could probably put 20 or 30 people in there. I sat there alone for a couple hours, not knowing what was going to happen. But finally, Amanda and others got together enough cash to bail me out. Bryce, we are currently planning it. We know that we're going to. Bryce asked about the rest of the year, the rest of the tour. I want to get back to forced retraction in a second, but yes, Bryce. I mentioned earlier in this broadcast that we're going to be in New England in late July and into mid-August. Again, it takes a lot of work for our planner David Atkinson to figure out all these routes, but he's working on it right now. And then in the fall, we're going to be in the Upper South, Virginia, possibly Washington D.C., but Virginia, I think Tennessee. I don't know if we're Kentucky, but the Carolinas. I'm not sure what, but you get the idea. The Upper South is going to be in perhaps late September, but definitely most or if not all the bulk of the 20 days in the Upper South will be in October 2022. And so that'll be the final 20-day tour of the year. So at birth, the sex organs of babies are immature. They have not yet developed. The foreskin is fused to the head of the penis at birth. So the first fiendish stage, let me reverse the camera again here. The first fiendish stage of infant circumcision is ripping the foreskin loose from the head of the penis. It is absolutely fiendish, ladies and gentlemen. It would be like ripping an eyeball out. The pain of it is just, it's the single most painful part of the genital mutilation of a male. I'm not saying the other parts aren't also painful. They are. But the first stage is by far, possibly because it is the first stage, ripping that membrane off the delicate head of the penis, ripping it. And eyewitnesses say you actually can hear a ripping sound. as if you've ripped a sheet of paper in half. You can actually hear it rip loose. And that actually is the point at which many of these babies pass out. They just pass out from the pain and don't wake up. They sleep. They sleep through the circumcision. And pardon the euphemism. That's sleep in quotation marks, as the doctors and nurses, when they bring the unconscious baby back to the parent. This baby passed out from trauma and pain when they ripped his foreskin loose. This is even before they cut it open, even before they clamp it and cut it off. When they rip his foreskin loose from the head of the penis, many of these babies pass out. And the doctors and nurses then tell the parent, when they offer them this unconscious baby, oh, look, he slept through circumcision. It's tragic, ladies and gentlemen. We know from research that you can see on the page circumcision.org, the Circumcision Resource Center in Boston, that the trauma changes the brain. It alters the brain. It alters the fundamental structure of the brain, and that doesn't heal. So forced retraction is the first part of the circumcision torture. If you wanted to invent one thing that would perpetuate circumcision in the United States, you would invent forced retraction, because doctors and nurses are being taught that the foreskin should be ripped loose from intact babies. And that's what they are telling parents to do. Rip his foreskin open. They are leaving these poor mothers in tears. They don't know what to do, because essentially they're telling these parents to obsess over their child's genitals. I raised a daughter. I know it takes very little care, basic fundamental care, to change a child's diaper. You don't obsess over anything. It's very easy to clean a child and keep them clean. But what these doctors are having parents do to their sons is worse than a nightmare, because nightmares you can wake up from. You cannot wake up from genital mutilation. So they're telling parents to rip their son's foreskin open and to clean underneath it. There is no underneath. There is no underneath. It's a sealed structure. Doctors Opposing Circumcision.org has really good resources on that. It's a sealed structure. There is no underneath. Is there an underneath your fingernail? Is there an underneath your eyelid? No. Would you clean under your eyelid? It's insane. And what's happening is that these boys are being injured. They're being injured by intact boys are being injured by forced retraction. It's causing infections, irritations, scarring, adhesions, and the boy may start having problems. So when the parent takes him to the doctor says, well, this is why we should have circumcised him. You would have avoided all these problems if we had just circumcised him. When the problems came from faulty, destructive medical care advice. You do not rip open a baby's foreskin. It comes loose on its own time frame, and that can vary in some boys. Generally, most boys are retractable by puberty. I think the average age is around 10. Some 4, 5, 6 years old. In other words, it's an individual developmental stage for a boy, and it varies from boy to boy, and there's no right or wrong. It's just the way nature is. So if a boy is being retracted, if an intact boy is being forcibly retracted and gets through childhood, and he may get through childhood with these problems and still somehow survive with his foreskin, the man The man may have those problems as an adult that came from forced retraction as a child. He may have that scarring. And also intact men, many of them are taught to use soap. You do not clean under the foreskin when you're an adult man. You do not put soap any more than women use soap on the internal mucous membranes of their genitals. A man does not use soap on the mucous membranes of his genitals either, because that will cause pH balance problems and other things that can. So there's just a whole minefield of misinformation out there, ladies and gentlemen. But so these intact men may may actually state, "I wish my mother had done that to me because I've had so many problems and all the problems that came about from forced retraction as a child that then followed that man into adulthood." It's the perfect solution for the circumcision industry, honestly. So I don't view it as a coincidence. How could the coincidence be the one thing that would ensure the need for circumcision and to brainwash the people that this is why you do it? Is forced retraction. Doctors opposing circumcision has called it a national epidemic, and it is. And the medical profession has no incentive to reform itself because circumcision. Hello, Jesse White. Jesse White, who has toured with Bloodstained Men several times. I'm going to switch the camera here. Wait for the traffic to clear. But forced retraction, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to say, is not just an accident of history. The the circumcision fanatics within the medical profession at some point, just by experience, realized that they could perpetuate circumcision by causing intact boys problems. And so they did. They did, and they now teach forced retraction in medical schools. They teach two things about the foreskin in medical schools: how to rip it open and how to cut it off. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very sad. Very, very tragic. That's what we're up against. So that's my live broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, here on Sunday, February 6th, 2022. I will be in Las Vegas in a few weeks. Join us there if you can. Keep your eye on Bloodstained Men's website, bloodstainedmen.com, and the drop-down menu on the right. You will see donate, PayPal, and you will see events. You can always see our latest schedule, and we're going to be working on that schedule all through the year. It's just there's a lot of work that goes into each 20-day tour. So I know a lot of you wish we could have the schedule out for the fall, but we are volunteers. We are volunteers, and we only have so much time to do these things. And I'm working overtime as it is, trying to get all the work done, and I don't get it all done in one day. So please donate to this live video fundraiser. Anything you donate will be applied to Bloodstained Men's ongoing 2022 fundraiser, and I will reduce the goal for that fundraiser by the amount raised in this. If you PayPal us a donation and you want it to go for our 2022 fundraiser, state that in your PayPal donation. And do what you can, ladies and gentlemen. Together, we will get this job done. The only question is how long it will take us. But we have science, we have reason, we have parental love on our side, and the other side has nothing but lies and deceit. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you later today on Facebook. You can see me on Twitter, and you can always come out and join me and the Bloodstained Men on the front lines. We need your help. If you have to drive hundreds of miles, there are people who have driven thousands of miles to join us on the front lines. Do that too, ladies and gentlemen. So I will see you next time. Thanks for your donations. Thanks for watching. And we're going to get this job done, ladies and gentlemen. Pace yourself. Don't let yourself burn out, but keep at it. Do what you can. Thank you. See you next time.